Cancer, Dark Dove Tarot here. Happy June 2017. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. As you know, I always pre-shuffle the cards, but I'm going to add a little energy as we get started. Again, always check your sun, moon, and rising, as this is a general read. Hopefully it resonates with the majority of you, but you can always check your other signs to get a little more clarity. Again, hope everybody is doing fantastic. As you know, I move pretty fast. I have a lot to say. I want to get out without taking up too much of your time. I've changed up my reads a little bit, and nobody has complained so far. I'm no longer doing singles and couples, just singles and anybody who's possibly separated, looking to reconcile. It seems like the majority of the people who have requested private readings and who email me, etc., are single with questions, or are maybe separated, or wondering what their ex is up to, and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm going to focus primarily this read on. Again, like I said, it is general. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are appreciated. If you want a private read or donation, the information is in the description. So let's get started. All right, Cancer, for June 2017. This is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Magician. And I actually really like the Magician. It's a major arcana, and this is all about ability, versatility. So if you're dating, this is telling me you're kind of, in a groove. You're meeting new people. You're meeting people from all walks of life. It's all about connections. The Magician is all about making things happen, and meeting the right people for you. So for singles, this is telling me that there's no doubt about it. You're either meeting really good people, you've met a few that you're very interested in, and you're forming new bonds. It may not be like the one coming into June, but you definitely have your eye on one, maybe a few, or you're just feeling good at the overall process. Maybe it's been kind of, crappy lately. I know online dating can be hard. I always talk about it in my reads. I've done it. I've heard all sorts of stories, so it doesn't have to be negative. I mean, obviously a lot of people have met online, so I can't knock it. But this is definitely a positive energy flow for dating right now for Cancers. This is all about control as well. So you control your destiny. The Magician's an interesting card because this is basically saying, you know what, Cancer, whatever you want right now will come true. So, and it's also maybe time to make some changes or meet new people. Maybe you're feeling kind of like the people you've met or the people you've been talking to or dating are not really for you, and this is kind of controlling your destiny. It could be the opposite. Maybe the people or few people you've met are very good for you, and now it's kind of like you're gonna make the magic happen. Right now, whatever you want, you can bring to fruition. You just have to believe it and see it, and that goes for people who are interested in what their ex is up to or reconciling. The Magician is definitely, if you reach out to them, now might be a really good time, because this is all about having the ability. So maybe you kind of know where you need to be. Maybe you understand more as to why you separated, and so you're able to see things a little more clearly and connect on a better level. The next card you have is always going to be any feelings or challenges that may present themselves to your current state of mind. And you have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is actually also a very good card. This card is definitely about, passion and having creativity and coming up with new ideas. So the Ace tells me that singles, this is your time to shine. Going along with the Magician, this is, knowing what you want, going after what you want, and this is making it happen. This is no holds barred, not settling for anything that's less than what you deserve. The Ace is all about having enthusiasm too. So you're gonna approach things differently. You're gonna start finding what you really want, and what you want, and it's gonna make you feel unbelievable. And I think that's the thing with the Ace of Wands, is it's all about passion. And if you're meeting people, you're going to know either this is the right person for me or this isn't the right person for me, because it's going to be an undeniable, they're going to be passionate about you, and you're going to be passionate about them, and you're going to have energy, and you're going to want to be with them, and you're going to want to talk to them, and you're going to want to see them. If you're not feeling that, then it's just not working on either end. And I think that Cancers are kind of saying, I know what I deserve, and I know what is out there waiting for me. So I'm not going to, settle for something that's not conducive for me, or something that's not presenting itself in a way that's positive, or, lackluster, or, maybe you are really into taking care of yourself and, they're not, or maybe you're really into certain hobbies and they're not, etc. It doesn't have to be that they're not perfect for you or that they're different from you, because that makes us all versatile, and that can often connect us. But you just know whether somebody's good for you or not, and whether they're a positive energy, whether they really feel good to talk to be around, etc. This tells me that a lot of singles are coming up with, creative ideas for dating. You actually have a passion for meeting people, and a passion just screams loud with the Ace of Wands, because it's just saying, you're ready, you want somebody significant in your life. And the Magician is saying, go for it, get what you want. You have the ability to, again, produce, manifest whatever you want at this moment. And it's amazing because the enthusiasm's there too. So it just says, hey, I'm ready. I'm going to find what I want. I'm going to find something amazing, and it's going to be everything I've ever wanted. For anybody wondering about reconciling or what their ex is up to, this could be very good too. It could be, if you actually take the time to approach them, or maybe they approach you, maybe if the lines of communication are just open, you're going to start feeling that, that passion again. You're going to start feeling like you want to talk to them again. Maybe you're going to come up with creative ideas to get their attention. Maybe, this is just you really being positive about a future with that person that maybe you missed a lot. The next card you have is going to be your past relationships, and any traits or anything coming from that. And you have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so Cancer, I'm going to tell you one thing. This reading is almost starting to feel like it's for people who are missing somebody from their past, or are thinking about somebody, or wanting to reconcile. Maybe you're, because the Ace of Cups being in a past position, a lot of times I get more of a negative card, or not negative card, but just a card that talks about problems and issues. And the Ace of Cups is all about love and passion and excitement. So this tells me that a lot of you have somebody on your mind that maybe you're in a relationship with that was actually really positive. And obviously it ended at some point, so there was a negative there, but maybe you're seeking somebody who kind of fits that level. Maybe you're seeking somebody and you're just tired of what you've gotten, and you're missing this person, and this person's been on your mind. Maybe you're seeing a certain color, remembering a song, seeing a number that, was positive for both of you. But this definitely tells me that some of you are reminiscing from the past, and some of you are wanting to use this, Magician and this enthusiasm to go get them. Or maybe they're already communicating with you, or maybe you're wanting them to communicate with you. Again, and it's interesting, this is all about beginnings. So the Ace of Cups is like a new start. So for some of you looking to reconcile, or wondering about your ex, or missing, what positive energy they brought, then now's the time to connect. And maybe they're going to connect with you. Maybe this is them coming forward, but you have to face it, with all the passion and enthusiasm you can. Don't dwell on what happened before, or it's just going to be ruined. The Ace also tells me a lot of you want new beginnings. So if you're sick of things that happened in the past, or you're tired of whatever's going on in your life now and it's just not good enough for you, or the dating scene's not good enough for you, or singles who have seen a certain pattern and they've dated the same types of people, this is you screaming for a new beginning, saying, I want something completely different. I don't want the same old, but you're in, again, the Magician is a beautiful way to open the month, Cancer, because I can't tell you how much power that harnesses. And you know what? If they're not the good fit for you, and they're not going after you and proving to you that, you know, they're worth your time, I'd say can it. I mean, start dating people who really make you feel amazing, and people who are good to themselves and therefore can be good to you. That's super important. But again, I feel like a lot of you may be reminiscing, and if you are, and you're missing somebody from your past, or there was somebody you were successful with, but for whatever reason it ended, maybe it wasn't something horrific like cheating or anything like that. Maybe it was just, it wasn't time. This kind of feels like now it might be time. The next card you have is going to be your most recent past. So again, this is your distant past, but for some reason I feel like it's flooding in, and it's flooding in a positive way. You're remembering all the good things that you want, especially if you're dating or, you know, possibly looking to reconcile. You're on a much better space to reconcile and to meet people who are good for you right now, this month in June. Again, your most recent past is going to be the Chariot. And that's you, Cancer. The Chariot is actually the Cancer card. So this is all about figuring out who you are and what you want. This is self-awareness, but listen, this means the past few weeks you've been going one way, and maybe people you've been dating are going another way. And you can't pull a Chariot that way, right? Because you'll either go one way or the other, you'll struggle, and you'll come to a halt. And that's exactly what it is. It feels like maybe you've dated people, maybe you've met a few people, and it kind of has come to a halt. So you're coming into June going, nope, I know what I want, what I deserve. I'm not taking anything less. And therefore, maybe you're cutting ties, and you're going to move that Chariot on your own. May go a little slower, but you're going to get where you want, and you're going to get what you want without the push and pull. This card is also about duality. So, I mean, this is about, maybe you have been in connection with your ex, or maybe they've been in contact with you, or maybe that's coming very soon, because this also tells me that you've kind of recognized that in order to work with somebody, in order to find what you want, in order to have that love, you're going to have to be able to have a duality. You're going to have to be able to say, okay, this is who I am, this is who they are, I love them, I want to be with them, but we both have to change certain things about ourselves. And you have to accept the fact that there are some things you're never going to change, they're never going to change. If you want to be with them, you're going to have to just say, fuck it, excuse my French, but like, I love them enough that they're never going to fully fulfill what I want. I want them, because we're human. You're going to piss each other off. It's not always going to be perfect, and you have to recognize that. This is about balance and self-control as well. So it tells me the past few weeks, maybe some of you who are dating have wanted to jump and run towards one thing or another, and you're just kind of biding your time to a certain extent and paying attention. And that's super important to make sure that you're reading the red flags. And this is all about balance too. So maybe you've decided like, hey, I really want to meet somebody, and maybe you've met a few people, maybe you really care about somebody or a few different individuals, but you're also going, hey, you know, I have other things to take care of too. And so I need to make sure that they're balancing out with me, because if they're not, it's not going to work. You know, meeting people and being with people is all about people who are going to make you feel good when times are hard. It's all about, you know, if you have a bad day, is that person there for you, or are they running the opposite direction? You have to pull the Chariot together. And if one person's pulling it and not the other, or, you know, they're not truly in it, then your Chariot's not going to go anywhere. And maybe it's not the best fit for you. So I think singles are really starting to recognize again what's going to help pull it along. You know, what's going to make the movement smooth, and it's going to be amazing. Again, I think for anybody looking to reconcile too, you know, these cards are kind of screaming that now's your time, like I said. The next card you have is in time, and these are future possibilities. So over the next few months, not just according to June, and you have the World. And the World is one of my favorite cards. This is all about fulfillment, accomplishment, belonging. So this is like over the next few months, the world is your oyster. Choose your own path. People can either get on the path with you or they can get off the path with you. This fits perfectly with the magician because the magician is the fool is actually the start of the major arcana, and then the magician comes, right? And you have the ability to make what you want. And the world is the end. So it's almost like in June, and I mean the end of the arcana, so the major cycle. So in June, it's like you're going to cycle through a lot, and it might be a little overwhelming, but you're going to accomplish so much this month. I feel like with work and meeting new people and dating, you're going to go down several different paths until you find the one that's right for you, and that's really beautiful. And this is all about completion too. So maybe you're completing things that you need to take care of. Maybe you have financial obligations or work obligations and you need to complete those. It's also about completion of, certain people who don't fit in your life. So if there are people who just don't mesh anymore, then you might have to complete that cycle, and maybe they won't, they won't make the cut. Again, fulfillment and belonging. So this tells me over the next few months, you're going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel overwhelmingly fulfilled. And you're going to feel like you actually, for the first time, belong, and maybe belong with somebody. So for singles, I think this speaks of over the next few months, you're going to be meeting somebody significant. And this is 21, but I really think it's going to be more like 3 months. Add the 2 and the 1. And it could be 4 months because you have the chariot, and that's a 7. So 3 and 4 make 7. So my instinct is 3 to 4 months. I don't even know why that came to me. It's just something that popped up. And for anybody looking to reconcile, this is all about, belonging as well. And so if you do get back together with your ex, I feel like you guys are going to finally feel this sense of you belong together. And I think you know it. I think there's this connection that you just haven't been able to cut. You don't want to cut. They don't want to cut. And it's just there. You just need a time. And the world is going to open up and give you that time, but also you're going to receive, some amazing blessings as well. The next card you have is always your immediate future, so over the next few weeks, and you have the 4 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords is actually, it looks kind of, detrimental, but it's not at all. It's about resting and recuperating and exhaustion. So you're going to be working very hard. You have a lot on your plate. And you're going to need to take some time off the next few weeks, and you're going to have to decide, you're going to have to make some major decisions. You're going to have to decide what's going to be best for you. And, you're going to have to get out any negative energy, or, if you're dating, this is all about date, but date the right people. And if anybody's exhausting you, or they're just not clicking with you, or they're just not bringing positivity in your life, they're just not there for you, then it's time to move on. You don't need games. You don't need any of this. This is like amazing time for you, Cancer, and I can just feel it. So you got to keep moving on, but don't overexhaust yourself either. For anybody looking to reconcile, it's the same thing. Recuperate. Like, this is going to be exhausting for you too, because I think some big changes are coming for all of you this month. And I've had some good reads, but for some reason, Cancer, the energy in this is just like, wait, something amazing is coming to you. So, date, have fun, but don't settle. And if you're looking to reconcile, go have fun too, because this is telling me it's all about time and patience and resting on it. Don't make any haste decisions or move too quickly in anything, because it's gonna I've always noticed that when things are right, they come fast and swiftly. And I have a feeling that's what's coming for you, Cancer. The next card you have is always future external factors. So things that maybe, carry some weight tangibly, externally. And you have the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands tells me that some of you are burdened by responsibility. It could be, financial. It could be work. This tells me, throughout June, you're going to have some things that you have to take care of. This is about, burden and completion. So maybe big projects, maybe you've got a lot going on financially, things that you're kind of worried about. For singles, I think that this is going to be, you're going to have fun dating, but you're also going to have responsibilities that you have to take care of. And completion tells me that some of you are, maybe you're going through, I don't know, maybe you have been divorced and you're going through the final stages of that, or maybe you're completing things out, like, you know, the house finally sold, or you finally figured out custody of the kids, that kind of thing. But this is definitely, it's not a negative either, so it's not anything hurtful or anything terrible. It just says you've got a lot on your plate right now, and you're gonna have to figure out how to deal with that, because you really want romance and you really want the right person for you. For anybody looking to reconcile, or, you know, wondering what your ex is up to, it's the same thing. This is all about responsibility and burden. So maybe some of you are kind of like, I want to move this along and I want them to come back, and, you know, but there's certain things that have to happen. Maybe, you know, they were dealing with things in their life that had to complete before they could finally open up and be with you freely. I don't know what that would be, because it doesn't come across as being like infidelity or anything like that, but maybe, you know, maybe they had child custody issues going on. Maybe they had been divorced for a long time, but they were finally selling the house, and all of this was kind of coming into play, and it was hurting the relationship because you couldn't just focus on each other. And so whatever this is, for Cancers this month, you're going to have some exterior things that you need to take care of, but I don't see it being anything you can't accomplish, because again, this Magician is screaming that for the month you're going to be able to make things happen, and your heart is in the right place. The next card you have is always internal factors, so anything that's going to affect you going forward throughout the month internally. And you have the Fool, and that's an awesome card, because you have the Magician and the Fool. You have the two first steps of the Major Arcana, and you have the last step of the Major Arcana, and they're all positive steps. You don't have like the Tower in here crushing anything. The Fool is all about new beginnings too. So you know what, Cancers, if you're single, maybe you need to wipe the slate clean and find somebody good for you. Maybe you really need somebody who supports you, and somebody who is just your partner in crime, partner in fun, partner in just life in general. Somebody who supports you 100%, somebody who's there for you 100%, somebody who makes you laugh, somebody who, you know, this is all, the Fool is all about potential and innocence and fearlessness. This is go get them, and this is how you're going to feel throughout the month. I mean, there's always going to be ups and downs in every month, right? But this is just saying, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to conquer, I'm ready to meet the world, I'm ready to find what's best for me. And for singles, this definitely says you need to meet your match. You need to meet somebody who brings out the best in you. You need to meet somebody who, you know, just no matter what, bad day, good day, they're there for you, and they're plugging for you, and they are like 100%, you know, they've got their shit together, you've got your shit together, and you're ready to rock. And that kind of tells me this is what you're working on, getting your stuff together, but they're right there with you. They're rooting for you, and they're letting you know regularly they're there for you. And that's super important, you know, even a quick joke, even whatever. This is definitely very positive. And for anybody looking to reconcile, etc., this definitely tells me that some of you are, maybe have, you know, talked to your ex again. Maybe they're coming back into your life this month. Maybe you're coming back into theirs. I feel like it's going to be half and half. Like some of you are going to be contacting them, and some of them are going to be contacting you. Cancers can be kind of stubborn in that because they don't want to get hurt. So a lot of you may hold out for them to contact you, but I think they will. I really think this month is the month that if it wasn't something horrific, and it definitely deserves another chance, or at least another thought, then you'll be revisiting your past with this partner. And there's going to be an innocence in it, kind of like, you know, maybe things didn't work out. Maybe we both played a part in it, but I want to restart. I want to start over. I want a fresh start, because at one point we had this amazing bond and connection, and I can't get you off my mind. They can't get you off their mind, etc. And I think that's how it's going to kind of come in. And some of you are going to have to be kind of fearless with it and just be like, you know, if you are the one approaching them, you're going to have to just say, screw it. Like, I can't come into this going the what ifs, and you did this and I did that. You're just going to have to wipe this slate clean. And if they come back to you, you need to do the same thing. Because do you know how hard it is for them to come back to you? You know in your gut how hard it's going to be for you. So give them a break if they come back in. The next two cards you have are always going to be your hopes and fears for the month and your outcome. So let's see, your hopes and fears are the Five of Wands, and the outcome of the month is the Ten of Coins. So it's a great outcome. Although, there is some hopes and fears, but these are generally more hopes because the Ten of Wands is all about first completion. So let's talk about first completion. Whatever this burden is and responsibility that you need to do and accomplish, you're going to get it done. And it's going to be a little exhausting, like I said. Make sure you take time for you, a lot of time for you this month. But this is all about first completion. So you're going to be completing steps, baby steps. So you're going to be completing this. Maybe you pay something off. Maybe you, whatever the case may be, but you're going to be completing steps that are going to get you to where you want to be. This card is also about resting. So again, you're being warned twice to rest and take it easy. So make sure you're doing that. Don't overextend yourself. Even if you have to work 5 jobs or whatnot, take care of you, because you're not going to get anywhere if you're exhausted and feel miserable, or if your health starts going. But this card is happiness and stability. I know it doesn't look like that, but it is. It's actually kind of just, it's a plethora of overwhelming ups, and yes, there might be some downs, but this is about Cancer coming into some sort of stability. So it's going to be hard, but what you want in the end of the month is all about stability and being happy. Some of you may, again, maybe you're dating and you're deciding that you're going to end what you have currently because it's just not working for you. Maybe some of you are going to move forward and have a better time of it. I mean, this is all about priorities too, and competition. This is a little bit of chaos. So the Five of Wands, there's happiness behind it, but in the interim, it's chaos. So you're feeling chaotic, you're feeling crazy, things are kind of running at you, you've got to take care of all of this stuff, you maybe, really just need a helping hand. You may just need somebody to tell you everything's going to be all right. And if you're dating people and they're not telling you that, then you're really needing somebody to be supportive, and you definitely need somebody who has your back. And that's super important, because the happiness that you want to achieve with the world and the Fool and the Magician, the Five of Wands is competing for that. You are going for it. You're doing what you need to get where you need to be. And so you need to remember to stay positive, because again, Five of Wands is chaos, but in that chaos, there's happiness to come. The end of the wand suits, you come to, feeling amazing and feeling wonderful. Here, you see, you have the Ten of Wands, which is burden and responsibility, but you're wrapping things up, if that makes sense. So you're going to feel kind of chaotic, and your fears are going to be that things are chaotic, but you've got this happiness here, because the 10 is all about success and generosity and wealth. So if some of you are experiencing financial issues, you're going to be able to pull yourself out of it. If you're feeling like you're not sure what to do with your ex, you love them, they love you, you want to reconcile, same thing. It's going to be successful. For singles, you're going to get through any chaos. You're going to get to happiness, and you're going to feel, again, the Fool, new beginnings. All of this is amazing. It's all about what you want, you can get. And the Ten of Coins just says you're going to get there. You're going to feel generous. So you're going to want to help other people who've been in your position, even if it's, broken hearts, etc. Or maybe people will ask you, like, how did you reconcile? Maybe you do get to the point of making things happen and new beginnings with your ex, and you guys do, successfully get back together. You're going to be helping other people and let them know that there's a chance. And for anybody who's single, this is success in everything you do this month. This is success in work. This is success in taking care of things, getting things done. This is success in meeting your match and meeting somebody amazing. So, Cancers, hope you have a fantastic month. I can't wait to see you next month. I really do feel like this is an excellent month for you. And going forward for the next month or two, I think you're going to see a lot of positivity. So, again, take care. I'll see you next month. Thanks.